Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nick Push here. Well, you guys have given me a lot of good feedback, and you're telling me to keep making these goddamn ranking videos, so I've obliged, and I got another one here. Today I'm going to rank my top 10 favorite horror franchises. So, obviously, I'm sure you can guess all the shit behind me, those franchises will make the list, but what order will they be in? And which other franchises make the cut? Stick around and find out. So there are a lot of horror franchises out there. What am I considering a franchise? Well, I'm considering a franchise anything with 3 or more movies in it. So if you just have a horror movie and then a sequel, in my mind, that's not a franchise. At least not yet. Ever since horror movies started making big bucks, they've just been pounding out the sequels. So we have tons of franchises to get to, and I've whittled it down to my top 10. So let's get right into it. Number 10 is going to be the Alien franchise. Like most of the movies or most of the franchises on this list, this is mainly just based on the first couple movies. Alien is a fantastic movie. You guys have heard me talk about it before in a previous video. And then Aliens obviously ramped it up, turned it into more of like action horror, James Cameron. But Aliens is one of the best sequels ever made. So I'm a big fan of this franchise, or at least the first 2 movies, I should say, and it cracks my top 10 right at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is going to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. First one from '74 is obviously a classic. Second one, Tobe Hooper kind of got to make the real movie that he wanted to make, and it's kind of a horror comedy-ish, or horror with comedic tones. Then you get into some of the later ones, and you got some really goddamn awful ones, especially the Next Generation with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. Yes, those 2 are actually in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I think, isn't Dennis Hopper in that one too? Maybe. But the reason this cracks the top 10 is the remake in 2003 I thought was fantastic. I might even like it better than the OG from '74, but that could depend on the day. So you got 3 decent movies, or 2 really good movies, and then a decent second one that I like. So it's at number 9. Coming in at number 8, possibly the first shocker of this list. This is gonna be, remember, this is my favorite. This is gonna be the Poltergeist franchise. People forget sometimes that there are sequels to Poltergeist. The first one's obviously a classic, fucking fantastic, with Spielberg and Tobe Hooper. But the second one I thought was really scary. Maybe not scary nowadays, but Kane, the bad guy in it, is fucking creepy as hell. Especially in that daytime scene when he's, saying, "Let me in, let me in." I love that movie. And I know it's not a good movie, but Poltergeist 3 is pretty creepy. It's in a high-rise in Chicago, I believe, where there's mirrors and windows everywhere. And the Kane and whoever else is trying to get Carol Ann, or you can come through the mirrors and like the windows and shit, and it just creates a really unique and interesting atmosphere. So I really enjoy Poltergeist 3, even though, like I said, it's not a good movie. But I personally like it. I don't know if you guys have any movies like that where you can admit, hey, this isn't a good movie, but damn it, I'm enjoying this ride and I enjoy this movie. And that's kind of how I feel about Poltergeist 3. So it comes in at number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7 is going to be the Hellraiser franchise. Look, this is all based on the first 2 movies. First one's great. Second one, I love the setting in kind of the mental institution or the hospital that, is it Christy, right? That's her name? Christy, right? That she's in. I love, you look in the second one, you find out more about Pinhead and all those guys, the Cenobites. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of those first two movies. After that, the series fucking sucks. But the first two movies, in my opinion, are so good that I wanted it on my list. And it's at number 7. Coming in at number 6, it's going to be the Child's Play franchise. Chucky. First Child's Play is a classic. The second one, believe it or not, is my favorite. I have said this before. The third act of Child's Play 2 is one of my favorite third acts in all of horror. You basically got Chucky going to the good guy doll's factory, and all kinds of crazy chase sequences ensue. So I'm a big fan of that movie. The third one is kind of the black sheep of the franchise, but I think it's underrated. It's got the great line, "Don't fuck with the Chuck." So I like that movie, even though I can admit, again, it's not a great movie. And then you have Bride of Chucky, which I'm actually not as big a fan as most are, but I can understand. I mean, it's serviceable, and it kind of brought the new generation of Child's Play, and it's got John Ritter in it, so you can't go wrong with John Ritter. And then the remake, all the other ones after that, I don't care. I thought Seed of Chucky is, if it's not the worst horror movie ever made, it's tied with Freddy's Dead. So I can't stand it. But the remake that they made last year, 19, I think it was 19. This whole fucking year is just time is not on my side. I'm having trouble keeping track because of COVID and all this shit. But I thought the remake was pretty decent. It's not the same, it's not the same at all. But I enjoyed it for what it was. So I had to include the Child's Play franchise, and it falls in at number 6. All right, top 5, people. Number 5 is going to be Scream. Obviously, guys, Scream kind of revitalized the slasher and horror genre in the late 90s and 96 when Scream came out. And it created a wave of sequels. We all know how it goes. Scream 1's great. Scream 2 I thought was really good. Scream 3 sucks. And I thought Scream 4 was also really good. And we'll see what happens with Scream 5. All right, 4 franchises left. Coming in at number 4 is going to be the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Freddy Krueger. Look, I love the first one. Big fan of the second one. Love the third one. Fourth one was okay. Fifth one was not good. It sucked. Sixth one, Freddy's Dead. Worst horror movie, maybe the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. That's how much it pisses me off. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, very good again. And the remake sucked. So, like most of the... Anytime you have all kinds of different movies, like 9, 7, 8, 9, 10 movies, you're going to get a bunch of shit ones, right? So, I'm not holding that against the franchise. And the ones I do like, I like enough to have it at number 4 on my list. So let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is going to be the Jaws franchise. Yes, that is actually a franchise. There's 4 of them. First one, you guys know. I mean, look at my hat. Look at the poster behind me. I'm a huge Jaws fan. The second one, I really, really, really enjoy. It's not even close to as good as Jaws. But I like Jaws 2 a lot. Jaws 3, it's the one in SeaWorld with Dennis Quaid. Yes. I like it. I don't love it. I don't love it at all. But I like it. I have fun with Jaws 3. Jaws 4, God, it's an abomination. Jaws the Revenge, it's an abomination. If you want to hear someone talk shit about Jaws 4, listen to Harrison Smith. He's got a podcast, Harrison Smith. I can't remember the name of it offhand. But he's a director, and he just rips into Jaws the Revenge and how it's cynical and shit like that. But yeah, I love the first 2 movies so much, and I have fun with the third one that it's number 3 on my list. Top 2, guys, it's going to be no surprise here. Number 2 is Friday the 13th. I think this is absolutely probably the most solid franchise overall on this list, from top to bottom. Yes, it has sninkers in there, but when you're looking at the original 2, 3, 4, those are my favorites. They're very, very good. 6, I'm not a huge fan of 6, but it's good. I like it. It's kind of the most quintessential Jason movie. Then you get into some shit, but it's a good franchise, and it's number 2 on my list. Number 1, big shock, Halloween. You guys know my thoughts on Halloween. Obviously, it's got stinkers too, just like the others, but it holds a special place in my heart, and it is always going to be my favorite horror franchise. I think it's safe to say that nothing will ever top my fandom, my fanboy love for the Halloween franchise. So, thanks for always watching, guys. Let me know what your favorite horror franchises are. Which ones would you have on your list that are not on my list? I love hearing other opinions like that. And thanks again for watching.